Good morning and welcome to the podcast. I'm very happy to introduce today with me here Mubarak Al Khulaifi, an ultra marathon runner, and the guy that I can proudly say I can thank for this medal and for this number. My first 50 kilometers in December. Mubarak, for the 9 people that don't know you in Qatar, please introduce yourself.
My name is Mubarak Al Khulaifi, and I've been thankful that I've been doing ultra marathons for the past 4 years.
Okay.
Before that, I didn't have any sport backgrounds or anything. I didn't do basically any sport when I was a kid. I had asthma when I was a child. I didn't until and then when I was in university, I tried to pick up going to the gym and trying to stay fit, but that didn't stay for long. I was overweight. At one point in my life, I wore size 3X t-shirt.
Wow.
And but then I got introduced to running when I did the national service here in Qatar, and we used to run early in the morning around the camp, and we used to start before sunrise after Al-Fajr prayer, and I used to really enjoy that moment, but we used to always see the sunrise behind the fence.
Okay.
So from that moment, I promised myself that I will do it again, but
Without the fence.
Without the fence. And and afterward, in 2016, I can say that's when I took running seriously, and that's when I decided to become an ultra runner, or a trail runner in specific. And but at that point, the maximum I have run was 3 kilometers.
Okay.
But I worked on myself. I start doing the training, and slowly but surely, I started joining the big races, the 50, the 100. And
when we talk about ultra, maybe just for those who don't know, ultra and trail, what does it mean?
Well, trail is anything off-road, so it's not on regular road. It's off-road. It's on the beach, mountains, deserts, that's all considered trail. Okay. Ultra is the distance, any distance longer than a marathon. So the marathon is the 42 kilometer. Usually the 50K is the starting distance for someone to call themselves an ultra runner.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm just a starter.
No, it's good. You're in.
Yeah. But we just talked about it on the 14th of December last year in 2019.
Yeah.
Was it the first race ultra marathon that organized here in Qatar?
Yes.
You organized that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about Theeb?
Well,
how was gone?
It was a dream. I mean, since I started running, the first trail that I fell in love with was Zikrit, and I've been always running there. I ran first time with Doha Bay Runners, and since then I've been going even by myself and running there in the desert, and I just enjoyed it. It's some of the best trails Qatar can offer. Every 5 kilometers, the whole scenery changes. So every time I train there, I've been thinking to myself, like, someone needs to do a race there. It's just so beautiful, and exceptional. Alhamdulillah, I was able in 2019 to start to do the first one, and that was the first ultra trail distance in Qatar.
Wow. Okay. So, and I mean, I can speak for myself. It was an amazing experience, like you said. The scenery in Zikrit, in basically the desert of Qatar, or one part in the west, right? It's amazing. It was special. A very rocky terrain, I would say. The scenery is stunning. We were running partly through the desert, partly close to the sea.
Yes.
So like you said, it really changed a lot. And you basically, we met, I think, mid last year, around summertime, maybe last year.
We did.
And you told me about your story, and that I should join a run like that. At the time, I was not really running, maybe 5, 10, 15 at max once a week. And then to train for an ultra marathon was definitely something else. So thank you for bringing me to that.
Alhamdulillah. It was all your effort.
No, but what do you say, like from my perspective, the physical part is something you can train for, what you just said. The effort you can put in, you can be prepared. The mental part is something you can almost not be prepared for. It's more difficult, I think.
Agreed.
When you run much more than 50. We just talked briefly before. You just finished a 100-kilometer race in Thailand.
Yes.
I mean, that's twice the distance.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about maybe the mental, the physical effort that this takes?
I mean, the mental challenge is always there. You will always feel it, whether you do a marathon, a 42-kilometer, or you do a 160-kilometer distance. They're all, you will always feel the, I mean, your body will just give you all the excuses to stop, you know, and it's all up to you, you know, to challenge yourself first and foremost, to how to put, you know, the next step forward, you know, and just to keep going and not to quit. Meeting that wall, as most of runners say, some of them they call it the pain cave, some others they call it meeting your demons, and it's absolutely true. You know, it is. I mean, you feel very at your lowest point. You know, your body is trained physically. You know, your mind. If there is anything, even little things, if they're bothering you, they would actually, you know, hold you to a stop.
Yeah, small stone in a shoe.
It's tied too tight, you know. Anything can go, you know, can really ruin it for you.
Yeah.
But it's all up to you at that point, how to pass it. Yeah. And this is the joy. I mean, the best moment usually in an ultra is when you pass that wall. So you will feel your lowest point, but when you come out of it, you will come out with such joy and happiness, you know, that you never felt before. And 5 minutes ago, you almost wanted to quit. Yeah. And I've met that moment so many times in those ultra races, and maybe this is why I go back.
Do you think it's addictive?
It is. I mean, not. I mean, the challenge itself. You know, when you look at the race in paper and you say, you know, that this is impossible. You know, and then you overcome it and finish it. You know, this is the achievement. You know, that usually we strive for.
And we were just talking about the Thailand race. I mean, completely different scenery, obviously, and I think this is maybe something for an ultra trail runner. What is so beautiful about it? If you run in Qatar, it's desert. I think you finished a race in European mountains as well. You told me before. You were running in South Korea, volcano. Now Thailand through the jungle. I mean, that already sounds amazing. How was it to run in Thailand?
I mean, it's each run is an adventure by itself, and it's you're so in the moment during the race. You know, all you think about is the race itself, and for that you create such good memory. You know, of living that 24 hours or a day and a half that you spend on that trail, you know, and you can remember every single moment of it, and it's just amazing. Each one has its own challenges and it has its own beauty, and that's why, you know, I go and try to do races around the world and try to combine my vacation, my family vacation, and, you know, and try to do something as memorable as an ultra, while I'm there.
Is there something that you say this is in an environment that is in particular challenging? Like you just said, in Thailand, we had be aware of the leaves on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's slippery.
Yeah.
We don't know what's underneath. In Qatar, it was maybe more the rocky terrain that you need to almost dance through.
Yes.
Some parts
Yes.
because you cannot just run, like you said, on the street. But I felt you just focus on the physical effort. You just say, okay, I need to stay on track, but you don't need to really concentrate where you're stepping.
Yes.
That's completely different in trail, isn't it?
Agreed. I mean, the each terrain presents its own challenges. So if you're in the jungles, as I said, there is the leaves can be a problem. You know, the wet large leaves that are on the forest floor, they're so slippery, and when you're descending down a mountain, there is nothing that can hold you down. And I did fall like a couple of times, slipping, sliding, just going down the mountain.
Yeah.
And other races, for example, in Oman, they have the rocks, it's just rocks.
Yeah.
They're mountains.
Yeah,
they're
we were talking
solid
about
rocks. And it's one of the most technical races, I think, on the planet. It's a very, very hard race. But at the same time, there is always those moments, that you remind you why you're doing this. For 80% of the race, you're gonna hate yourself, but maybe for 20% of the race, you're gonna just be so happy and thankful for being alive, and being able and healthy and being able to do this, and thinking about all the other people in the world that are not able to do such a thing, and it's just amazing. It just connects you with life, as a whole.
I think that's a powerful message. The gratitude you feel being able to compete in the first place, to see such place, and for you even more traveling for the races. When you said, how does it, if we take the jump of what the race does to you and what it means for someone who's running, and connecting this with life, maybe even business, are there any lessons that you learned beside gratitude and how it zeroes you in the moment that you take away?
It helps a lot. I think running in general just helped my personality as a whole. I mean, I believe that
it was a life change, wasn't it?
It was. I was able to believe in myself more. That if I set a path to myself, and if I go through it, no matter how hard it is, I will reach that goal at one point.
Yeah.
And this is what running teaches you.
It's a powerful message.
Indeed, not only through the race, but also through the training. So for example, when I first started, I wasn't able to run 5 kilometers straight. Yeah. But then when I was able to do the first 5, it was a big achievement for me. The first 10, I was over the moon. And then I did my first half marathon, and I ran the whole thing, and I can't explain how happy I was, and I still remember those moments. Although they seem so small to comparison to what I'm doing now, but they are those short-term goals that keep motivating you, toward the big goal, to become an ultra runner or to become so.
This is something that I must say in the training, in the weeks leading towards the race, something that in hindsight I would say was almost more difficult than the race itself, is putting in the effort and maybe not being sure if that will be enough, but just enjoying the process of trying, getting up on a Friday morning, our weekend, and say, okay, today I will run for 35 kilometer, not for nothing, but just for the sake of training. And to be fine with that, and spending, I think at the time, 5 hours circling through Aspire Park on the sandy track there. I would almost say this was harder than the race itself.
I agree.
As the race, you're enthusiastic about the race, you're pumped there, 300-400 people, I believe we had.
Mm-hmm.
Although you don't see them on the track eventually because you run for yourself.
Yeah.
But it's an event. It's something you've
People
been training
cheer you
for.
on. You enjoy it. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. I mean, the race
In Aspire Park, nobody would cheer for me.
See, but the race is the celebration.
Yeah.
You know, and the effort is usually, you know, and the exhaustion goes before it. You know, and as you said, it's waking up in the morning and, you know, going through, you know, the training again. There is no, that's the thing with running. There is no shortcuts.
Yes.
You know, you have to put the effort. There is no special equipment. I mean, there is those shoes right now, but but still, you know, you need to put the effort there. You know, for you to get, you know, to be able to finish it.
I love that message. Yeah. No effort, no success.
Yeah, success.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talking about business, beside all of the ultra marathon activities that you do, is it on a monthly basis? Is it monthly? Do you run monthly? No.
As in races?
Yeah.
No, the big ones usually I have about like four in the year during the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So beside that, you are also involved in many other things. Full-time job. You have business on the side.
Yes.
Had a venture on the side.
Yes.
Can we briefly talk about this?
Sure. I've done, alhamdulillah, a couple of businesses.
Yeah.
First one was Fernal Pide restaurant.
Yes. Turkish restaurant.
Yes, a Turkish restaurant. And the goal behind that was to make the best pide that Qatar can have. The pide basically is the Turkish pizza.
Yeah.
They call it, or the Turkish fatira, we call it in Arabic.
Where does the love for Turkish food come from? Or for
I think everybody loves Turkish food. I mean, this item in specific, I've had it in my mind for a while.
Yeah.
I've tried it there in Turkey several times, but I didn't find. There are a couple of restaurants here who do it in Qatar, but they're really high-end restaurants.
Okay.
But there is no restaurant that would do it for the average people.
Yeah.
So I worked on this brand concept myself. I went to Turkey. I tried. That was my favorite trip. I went and I tried about like 6 or 7 restaurants there, the oldest pide restaurants in Turkey.
Delicious research.
Delicious research, yes sir. It was a good 3 days. I think I gained a couple of kilos, and but it was fun.
Okay.
And the whole process of starting the company was a lot of fun. Making the brand, the slogan, the design. That was
the recipes.
The recipes when the chefs
menu.
came, of course, we did so many testings. That was great. And yes, alhamdulillah, we did see some success in our first couple of months. But then I was actually focused on other things. I was trying to start the race and. In 2019, and I had a couple of things that I was actually busy with.
Yeah.
So the restaurant didn't pick up as successful as I expected it to be. So
which is very sad. This is where we first met. I had the chance to try and visit at the time a couple of times in a row, like week after week.
Yeah.
It was such a good place, like a bit hidden, I would say, but it was just the people there, the food. It was so good.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, there were some good things, but I mean, you learn from it. The F&B business is not an easy business as people would expect.
Yeah.
There is a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
And
something that needs your full attention. And if you say you
full attention,
organize your race, and then you have a full-time job and other commitments.
It gets very hard. It gets very hard if you do that, and especially if you don't have the previous experience.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I want to compare it to something, it's like an engine, you know, that it needs to always keep running, you know, and generating cash and sales, you know. At any time this engine slows down or stops, it becomes really a big burden, you know, and that's I learned a lot from this business. I'm happy that I'm still happy that I went through it. It did teach me a lot.
Okay. I mean, the message, I think, what we said for running, there is no shortcuts. You don't just set up a business in F&B and then it does the job. It takes effort to run that. And you said the experience that you went through setting it up, it was fun. And I think this is maybe the most important takeaway, to enjoy the process itself, not being only behind the success itself, like the big event, but just setting it up. And something that you gained a lot of experience from.
And it's again, as I said, it's something that I do not regret, although I lost money on it. But the good take from it is it's an experience. I'm happy that I went through. And I'm happy that I experienced it, and definitely, inshallah, at one point in the future, why not? You know, I go back and try to do something again in F&B, and you know, use that experience again.
Amazing. Are there any races upcoming? Switching back to your hobby, your lifestyle, almost. Is there anything that's in the pipeline in Qatar or international?
For me personally, or for Trails company?
For you personally, and maybe there's a Thiep 2.0 as well?
Yes, sir, there is King Thiep.
King Thiep?
Yes.
In 2020.
So what we're planning to do is, inshallah, next year around the same time, we'll host the event, but we will enhance it by actually doing 2 events back to back.
Okay.
So the goal is to do a mountain bike race on a Friday, and that will have a 25 kilometer distance and a 50 kilometer distance on the same trail.
Okay.
And then the next day on Saturday, we'll do the same as Deep, which is the 10, 25, and 50.
Like we had it last week.
Exactly. But if you would challenge yourself enough and be able to finish the 50 kilometer bike and 50 kilometer run, you will earn the title King Deep.
Wow. Okay. This was your idea?
That's yes.
I mean, I think the 50 kilometers running is a challenge itself, but to bike a day prior to that, the same. I mean, at least you know the path then. Good. And personally, for you, any big races coming up?
Inshallah, I have actually one. I just got an approval for the big UTMB in Chamonix, which is actually my dream race. This one is the 170 kilometer distance.
Wow!
In Chamonix, in Mont Blanc, starting from Chamonix and ending in Chamonix, going through Italy, Switzerland, and back to France.
Wow!
I've done the shorter ones last year. I've done the 100 and I've done the 57 the year before it, and I look forward for the big one.
This is in summer now, or
this one is going to be end of August, inshallah.
End of August.
Yes.
Then I wish you all the best for that. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your passion about the ultra sport, your business experience, and I might join next year again.
You have to join. There is no might.
Thank you, Mubarak.
Shukran. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey guys, I hope you liked that video. Oh, thank you. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, please give the video a like, subscribe to our channel for more interesting and inspiring content. Comment down below what you would like us to post. Don't miss out on any of our videos by turning on the notifications on our channel. Somewhere here, I guess. You can find all our social media links in the description below. Make sure to keep yourself updated with our content. See you in the next video.